Hello and welcome to another exciting, another engaging and interesting episode on the Emorgate Radio Communications Program. It is such a joy and a delight to be with you on this beautiful Monday, the 19th of August 2024. Wow, just like that, we are seeing the third Monday in the month of August together, and that is so exciting. And I believe and I trust that we will see so many Mondays together by God's grace. Thank you for always joining in. Thank you for always listening in. Thank you for always being a part of this. You are the reason why we do this. You are the reason why we show up every day. So thank you for being a part of this journey. My name remains Adikbeju Jayoba, and together we've been considering leadership competencies and organizational behavior. And together we have considered so many competencies that are essential for every effective leader, particularly in the 21st century. If leadership is the crux on which organizational success, productivity, and growth is anchored on, that is essential that leaders are armed with the right skills, with the right talents and abilities and competencies that they need to drive their organizations forward and position their organization for a competitive advantage in a very dynamic, in a very evolving market space, particularly in today's business space. So we've considered different competencies. We've looked at the ability to be visionary, the ability to conceptualize and communicate a compelling vision. We've looked at integrity, we've looked at trustworthiness, teamwork, and collaboration. I don't want to bore you with all that. Another thing we've considered in the last 2 weeks is how to develop an effective leadership competency framework. Now that you know that it is important that you as a leader or the leaders in your organization ought to be competent enough to carry the essential role of leadership in the organization, particularly to drive and to enhance the kind of work behavior you desire to see in your employees. You need an effective leadership competency framework, a model of leadership competency that channels your training, that channels your learning processes, that channels your developmental processes in the organization, whether for your current leaders or for leaders in succession. I'm talking about potential leaders you are grooming to take up leadership positions in the nearest future. And we looked at 7 steps that are essential to developing an effective leadership competency framework. The first we talked about is that you must assess your organizational needs, meaning that you must assess what competencies, what leadership competencies, what abilities the leaders in your organization need. And the second step is you must assess existing resources. You want to consider what competencies or what abilities do we have already, or what framework, what model is working for us currently. Is it effective enough? If it is, do we need to improve on it? If you have no framework already, then how do you start to build a framework? So the second step is assess existing resources in your organization. The third step is identify core leadership competencies. Now that you've assessed the gaps in performance abilities or competencies amongst your leadership or amongst your workforce, the next thing you want to consider is highlighting the core leadership competencies, remembering that competence is organizational, in most cases organizational specific. What you'd require in your organization might be very different from what I would require in my organization, depending on what goal we are driving out, depending on what your vision is, depending on the kind of industry you're in, also what a software engineer would need as a competence will probably be very different in some degrees to what a fashion designer might need. So you want to identify core leadership competencies. The next step, which is the fourth step, is that you want to engage your stakeholders. This is our mantra in Amorgate. You must continually collaborate. You must collaborate extensively, meaning that you must have the buy-in, the cooperation, the support of your stakeholders. Everyone's hand must be on deck if you want to have an effective leadership competency framework in your organization. So engage your stakeholders. The fifth step is design the framework. After doing all the strategy in your head, now you must put it to paper. Design the framework, put it into steps, put them into levels, assign hierarchies to them, level of importance, which competencies are very important, what level of competencies can we put at the back burner, what is the degree of expertise that is required in each competence. Like I said, the degree of competence that is expected of an executive director might be different from the degree of competence you expect from an employee that you're training to take up leadership roles. So you want to put structure to the framework and develop or design that framework in such a way that it is easy for everyone to follow, and the objectives of this framework is clear to everyone on your team. The sixth step is implement and communicate the framework. Now the work gets done. The rubber hits the road. Everyone gets to be a part of executing the competency framework in the organization. So you implement it and you communicate it. Let everyone know, now guys, it is time to work. Now it is time to do this way. Now it is time to build capacity in this direction. Everyone must be on board on the leadership competency framework. And after you've done that, after you've implemented and communicated the framework, you want to monitor and evaluate to be sure that your leadership competency framework is effective. So monitor and evaluate effectiveness. Now that we have come up with the structure, now that we have enabled and empowered leaders to build capacity in this direction, we have honed their skills in certain directions, in certain abilities and competencies. How effective has it been? Have we been able to achieve our set goals? Have we been able to elicit the kind of reactions or work behavior that we've been expecting from our employees? Or are employees feeling demotivated? Are employees the same as nothing changed? You want to monitor and evaluate for effectiveness. That is very important. So now that I've reminded us of the competencies that are essential to your organization, I want us to look at the impact of these competencies on organizational behavior. Now, as a means of reminding us, organizational behavior, in very simple terms, I won't bore us with very long lingua, is simply the response or the way employees act or the way employees respond in interaction or in response to their work environment, in response to people in the organization. That means either response to themselves or response to leadership, in response to the work structure, in response to the work environment, in response to technology in the organization. So basically, organizational behavior talks about how employees act and respond in the workplace. Now that we've looked at so many competencies, what is the implication or what is the impact of these competencies on employee work behavior or on organizational behavior? We would say the leadership competency or the competence you're building as a leader is effective if the work behavior you are getting from your employees is that which is productive, it is that which leads to high performance, it is that which achieves set organizational goals. And I'm sure that as a leader who is developing, who is growing, who is learning continuously, building capacity in certain competencies. There's certain things you're also looking out for in your employees. And so today we'll be looking at leadership competencies and employee innovative behavior. We'll be considering the innovative behavior of employees. What competencies can shape, build, and develop the innovative tendencies of employees in the workplace. Now, one of the things that we must agree on before we get into talking about that is that innovation is a critical driver of organizational success in today's dynamic and very competitive business environment, particularly in the 21st century, where you have businesses everywhere. The global market is so large and at the same time so small. I can be here in Nigeria doing business with colleagues or business partners in China, in Rwanda, in Saudi Arabia, in the United States at the same time. The global market is so large and is so small at the same time. You have a fast rise. In the last decade, we've had a 67% increase in the emergence of entrepreneurs. A lot of people are coming into the business space. A lot of people are bringing new ideas, new solutions to the business space. And so if you are an existing business owner, or you're probably a new person, new player in the game, one critical factor that must continually exist in your organization is innovation. Very important. In fact, my colleague Tolu Madara would say that innovation is one factor that must be considered and must be in place consistently if your organization is going to become an institution that will last the test of time. And I would say it's that show me any organization that has lasted for 50, 100, 200 years, and I will show you an organization that is big on innovation. They're always bringing up new ways, new systems, new solutions, new business models, constantly satisfying the needs of their clients or their customers. So innovation is a critical element for organizational survival and growth. And that is why it is important that employees have an innovative behavior. They are looking for better ways to promote or realize or achieve ideas or goals within the organization. And leadership plays a pivotal role in encouraging innovation among employees. Leadership, like we said, a lot rests on leadership. Leadership is at the hub of organizational behavior. So if you want your employees to be innovative, to come up with new ways of doing things that can position your organization for success in the future, particularly in today's very technologically advanced age where things are changing at the speed of light, then innovation must be a key driver in your organization. So what is the first competence that I would want us to consider together today that impacts or that shapes innovation in your organization? The first I'll be considering is vision. Vision. When we're discussing about the competencies that leaders ought to have, particularly in the 21st century, we talked about the ability to conceptualize or conceive a compelling vision and the ability to communicate it. The employees in your organization cannot innovate when they are not sure of the vision of the organization, when they are not sure of the direction they are headed to, when they are not sure of what is expected of them. How do I come up with a solution for a problem I don't even know exists? If I don't know we're supposed to do this, I can't innovate. I can't think outside the box. I can't come up and say, oh, I think we can do this way. Oh, I think I saw this in a particular industry and I think we can co-opt it into our industry or into our organization. And I think it will work. I think it will provide better solutions to our customers, or it will shorten the time of delivery. ensuring that we are prompt in delivering our product or services to our customers. When there is no vision, the employees are not motivated. That is one thing you must know. So leaders with strong visionary abilities can articulate a clear and inspiring future for the organization. And this encourages the employees to see ahead, because now they know the future. There's a picture before them. They know where the organization is headed to. And so it encourages employees to see and to think ahead. It encourages them to align their efforts with the organization's long-term goals, which stimulates them to think creatively and to contribute their innovative ideas that move the organization to achieving its vision or its goals. So having a visionary leader is very, very important to eliciting employee innovative behavior. As a leader, you must be visionary. What are you seeing? Until the employees can see what you're seeing, they cannot provide what you need to take the organization to where it ought to be. So visionary thinking, or the ability to conceive and communicate a compelling vision, is one important competence that influences and impacts innovative behavior in your workplace. The next one, or the next competence I'll be talking about, which is one competence I love so much, is courage. Courage. Remember, your vision is usually gargantuan. One of the things we'll say in Amorgate is that if your vision is not bigger than your organization, if it's not bigger than where you are currently in your organization, then it's not a vision. It's just a short-term strategic goal. Your vision must be one that is constantly moving you to the future. It must be something you're constantly looking ahead at and saying, we've not gotten there yet. We still need to get to that point. We've not hit the mark. We've not hit the target. A vision must be gargantuan in nature. It must be one that you wake up and you're thinking of it and you're like, wow, how do we get here? And so it takes a lot of courage to achieve the vision. And it takes a lot of courage to also get your team members to be innovative. Because one of the things that comes naturally with innovation is risk. Innovation is equal to risk taking. Take it from me. You want your employees to be innovative, then you must be ready to take the risk. Sometimes ideas look good on paper. They're fantastic. You buy into it 100% and you pump resources into executing these ideas. Your financial resources, time, human resources. You deploy all the skills and strength and energy of your employees to getting this beautiful idea done. And then it gets to the market and it flops. That's a risk. There's no telling whether that beautiful creative idea might be a success. But that is the beauty of innovation. One of the things we say in Amorgate is that there are no mistakes. No one is a failure. Mistakes are only learning curves for you to get better. Now you've learned another way not to do that thing. And you become another Thomas Edison in your field, learning better ways, changing strategies again and again and again until you become excellent and dexterous at what you do. And so it takes a lot of courage, first of all, to achieve the vision. It takes a lot of courage to come out and tell your employees, this is where we are going. It also takes a lot of courage as a leader to tell your employees, let's get this done. And so when employees see leaders who are courageous and who are ready to take the bull by the horn, they are also very motivated and inspired to come up with beautiful, innovative, creative ways of achieving the set goals or the vision of the organization. So as a leader, you must be courageous. You must not give in. You must not chicken out. You must not give out. Irrespective of the challenges you face, you must say, we must come up with a solution. We must come up with a solution. One of the competence that follows very, very closely to courage is problem solving, because a courageous leader will be a problem solver, because with courage, you're thinking of a way out of a challenge. You're thinking of how to move your organization from where it is to being the best, or to being at the forefront in your industry. And so courage is an important competence that leaders cannot joke with, because it impacts, it inspires, it motivates your employees. It strengthens their resolve also. At points where they feel like stepping back, at points where they are getting discouraged, when they see your courage, they are motivated and encouraged to move on their innovative or their journey of innovation. So courage is a competence that greatly inspires and influences employee innovative behavior in your organization. Very, very important. Another competence we're looking at today that also impacts employee innovative behavior is team collaboration. Team collaboration. I will start with my mantra. No leader can mono create or mono execute. It must be in your mind. No leader can conceive a vision, plan the vision, implement the vision, monitor and evaluate the vision all by themselves. They will burn out. They will fall apart. No leader can do it. You need your team members to co-create and to co-execute with you. You need their skills, their unique skills, their unique abilities, sometimes their unique perspectives. My colleague Tolo Madara said in our last episode, which was greatly a wonderful session, and I want to encourage you, if you don't listen to other programs, wow, you're missing a lot. We have so many robust, rich, detailed programs for you, free of charge. Amazingly, free of charge, no hidden costs, no hidden charges on the Hammergate Radio Communication Series. Amazing programs. And she said, last week, that a lot of times in your strategic development, you need a third eye. You need somebody else to cover your blind spots. You need somebody to say, have you thought about this? And so when you're taking up a project, you want to achieve a vision. Sometimes as a leader, your eyes is so focused on a particular goal that you're not considering other aspects of achieving that vision. And you're not considering other factors that might impact, influence, maybe hinder your achieving the vision or fast track it. So when you have your employees on board, they can bring amazing ideas and suggestions to the table, which can help achieve organizational goals faster. So you need team collaboration. It must be a competence you must have as a leader, particularly in the 21st century. And what does collaboration do? One of the things it does is that it makes them feel heard. Leaders who encourage collaboration create an environment where employees feel heard and where collective creativity can lead to breakthrough ideas, where employees feel like, I'm supplying my part and my part is needed. Everyone wants to feel needed. Everyone wants to feel like I belong. Everyone wants to feel like I am contributing something that is so essential to this organization. And when they feel that way, they are inspired and empowered to give their best to the job. You will see them show up very early at work. You will see them give their energy at work. You will see them brainstorming. You will see them probably working extra time. You will see them researching the market because they feel like they have a part to play. They feel like they have a part to supply. That is the strength and the beauty of collaboration. So as a leader, you must collaborate. You must bring your team strength. Come on, guys, let's do this together. I believe in you. Let them feel needed. Everyone thrives in an environment where they feel needed. Of course, not used. They are two different things. But when you feel needed, you feel like, wow, my strengths are being acknowledged, my talents are being acknowledged, and my abilities are being acknowledged by my superiors, and I'm seen, I'm heard in my organization, and I want to give my best. Collaboration is a very essential competence you must have as a leader if you want to get the best of innovative behavior in your employees. Another competence I'll be taking today before I round up is integrity. Integrity. Wow, what would integrity do for you as as a leader in an organization who is leading a team, and you want your team to be the best? You want them to come up with novel ideas that have probably not been seen in your industry, or novel ideas that can garner more customers or get you more attraction in your organization, more publicity. You want to be known depending on your strategic goal for the month or the quarter. One competence that will also stand you out is integrity. Trustworthy leaders are leaders who place emphasis or who build credibility and integrity, and they foster a culture of trust within the organization. One of the things you must know is that when employees trust their leaders, they are more likely to share their ideas and take creative risk because they trust you. They know you will not go back on your word. They can take your yes to be yes. They can take your no to be no. They know that when you promise certain benefits, you have done your research. They know you're not just giving them some pipe dream. You're not building a castle in the air for them, something they cannot rely on. You must be a leader of your words. You must be a person of integrity. That is very, very essential. If you want your employees to bring out the best and to give you the best, then you must be a man of your word. And finally, not the least in any way, I want to talk about leaders who create an atmosphere of psychological safety. It is a very, very important component that leaders must pay attention to because it drives employee innovative behavior very, very fast. In fact, let me say this, that if courage and a beautiful vision is in place, but leaders don't create an atmosphere of psychological safety, your employees might still not be inspired to think outside the box, or they might not be inspired to be creative. In fact, they will not be inspired to be productive at work. And so what do I mean by psychological safety? Psychological safety refers to the shared belief that the team is safe for interpersonal risk taking. So it is a critical factor in fostering innovation, particularly as employees want to feel safe in their workplace. And when I mean safe, I'm talking about physical safety, I'm talking about mental safety, emotional safety. Where employees feel safe in their physical work environment, they will be innovative. Not like they're looking at the roof at every 5 minutes and wondering when it's going to cave in. You will not have productive or high-performing employees in such an environment. Where employees are mentally safe, where they can work without a toxic work environment, or they can work without abuse. That is very important. Where they are emotionally safe, where whether it's on the sunny days or the rainy days, because everyone will go through motions. Don't forget that your employees have a life outside the workplace, and anything can happen. But where they feel safe enough to come in with their emotions, and they meet a very supporting, empathic leader who understands what they are going through and walks them through that journey. When your employees have a very understanding, compassionate leader, you will get the best of them. When they have a leader who is high on emotional intelligence, you notice that the countenance of a particular employee is down. For an employee is usually upbeat and excited, and you reach out. You're offering comfort, support, encouragement. That employee will give their best at the job. They will be innovative. They will be creative. You won't have to force them to work. So as leaders, you must create an atmosphere of psychological safety for your organization. And so how can you do this? First of all, by demonstrating openness to new ideas, Don't be the kind of leader that is quick to shut down their ideas or tell them their ideas make no sense, even when their ideas are not necessarily in tune or aligned with the vision. If there's no strategic alignment between their ideas and the vision or the goals you're hoping to achieve, still welcome it, still listen to them. Interestingly, one of the things I've learned in management is that no idea can be discarded. An idea might not work for a project in this quarter, but that idea might be the in thing for another project, probably even in the next year. So welcome every idea. You must show openness to new ideas. You must show tolerance and patience for mistakes. Allow your employees make mistakes. One of the things of creating a psychologically safe environment for your employees is giving them room to make mistakes. Just like little children, when they start to learn to walk, they walk a little, they totter a little, and sometimes they fall. As adults, if you scream at them and you shout at them, it's something I have seen, most likely that child will never attempt to walk anymore, because now they are afraid, they won't learn from their mistakes, and they feel like this walking is not for me. In the same light, or in the same vein, you must create room for your employees to make their mistakes. Allow them come up with ideas. Allow them blow up your lab if that is what it would take. Let them blow up some money. Like I said, there is no failure. It's one of the things we say in Amogate. No organization truly fails. It's just a learning curve. It has just shown you another way not to do business that way, or another way not to run your product or to run your services that way. And so you must encourage or create an atmosphere where employees feel safe, comfortable enough to make their mistakes in order to birth an innovative idea. Sometimes a lot of times you've seen it in inventions. Every invention was a product of mistakes, several series of mistakes. So if you don't allow your employees to make mistakes, you're probably stifling an innovative breakthrough. So allow them make their mistakes. Show tolerance and patience. Don't shout. Don't throw the ball at them. Don't penalize them. Don't punish them, especially when they are bringing up creative suggestions to achieve laid down objectives. Show tolerance. Another thing you want to do is that encourage open communication. Encourage open communication. I will say again, in Amogate will tell you, communication is not a one-way monologue. It's a two-way street. As you're speaking to them, communicating the vision, communicating instructions, giving clarifications, you must also get feedback. You must hear from them. What do they think about this project? What do they think about this? What ways can we achieve this? You must create a system of open communication. It empowers your employees. When you create a system of open communication, your employees are free to talk, they are free to air their views, and they are free to express those innovative thoughts in their hearts. They can come up and say, "Oh, boss, I think we can do this way." But in a structure or in a work environment where they are stifled and they are not allowed to speak, even when they've seen new things outside in the business space and they feel like, "Oh, we can implement this also in our organization," they'll be afraid to talk. So you must create a system of open communication, and you must create a system or an environment where employees feel safe to work. Meaning that as a leader, you must be watching out for things like bias, you must watch out for abuse, you must watch out for toxic work behavior in the organization, whether it's amongst contemporaries on the same level or even amongst your leadership team. You must watch out for toxic work behavior so that one employee or certain employees don't feel bullied. That is something that's been major in the 21st century. Work bullying. As a leader, you must watch out for it. When your employees know that you have their best interests at heart, you're always watching out for them, and you want to create an atmosphere that is safe for them to grow, to create, and to innovate, then you will get the best from them. Wow. That will be all I'll be taking for today. I hope you learned a lot. And I hope that you've seen how the being competent as a leader or developing capacity or skills in certain competencies can impact the innovative work behavior of your employees. Thank you so much for joining us. For your questions, your feedback, and comments, to visit us at www.theamogate.org. You can send them to contact@theamogate.org. You can also connect with us on social media platforms, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on Instagram. We'll love to connect with you. We'll love to walk with you. We'll love to walk with you. That is why we are here. Until I come your way, same time next week, keep being amazing and keep reaching for the stars. Bye for now.